for the recording. But yeah, Colin, that's fine, right? If you have this extenuating circumstance like, oh, my camera's broken right now, or I'm getting it, or I left it here, that's fine, right? But generally, try to have it on. You can show me that you're participating in the camera if you're nodding, right? If you're paying attention. If I see you like sleeping or not there, then I'll know that you're not paying attention. The chat, right? The chat is our best friend in AVID. It's where a lot of our conversations happen. Hopefully this year we can start moving to having people speak as well. However, if you mostly feel comfortable in the chat, that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with the chat. I think it's a great way to communicate, and it helps you with your typing skills. Participate, right? That's going to look different depending on who you are. If you're someone who hates virtual sessions, you don't like participating, right? Try to push yourself to say one thing per virtual session. Doesn't seem too unreasonable, right? If you're someone who likes participating, you want to say a lot, that's great, right? This is your time. This is kind of going to be a group hangout vibe with some oriented learning. It's going to be fun. Have fun, right? We can make jokes. We had some funny quotes last year in AVID that I still laugh about thinking about. So make jokes, right? Ask funny things. Say funny things. Of course, making sure they're all school appropriate, which can make it challenging. Ask questions, right? I'm your mentor, teacher. This is the place to be saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, or this teacher never replied to the email I sent 3 weeks ago and I still don't know what to do and they're not responding to me, right? Then I will help you, right? I'm here to advocate for you. You know, I love to send a good snarky email. So involve me, right? Exactly. AVID Kate. I love it. I love it. It's our first AVID quote. AVID Kate. Yes. Okay. I'm writing that one down. Yeah. Grade 9 was iconic. I agree, right? But ask me questions. You don't have to do it in the virtual session. You can, right? Especially if you think it's a question that applies to a lot of people. Or you can send me an email, right? You can send me a text. Suggest topics, right? This class is being built by me. I've built like 6 weeks of it and I have it mostly planned. However, there's plenty of room for things that you guys want. So I listened to you from last year and a lot of the stuff you guys said that you wanted, we're going to be doing, right? So when you suggest topics, I take it seriously. And then of course, be respectful, right? We're never going to make fun of someone or say something rude to them, right? Even if you think that what they said was insane, right? We're just not going to do it. You can think it in your mind all you want, but we're going to be respectful in the chat and vocal wise. And be resourceful, right? There's no reason that you can't use Google, that you can't look something up if you're not sure what it is, right? You can ask the group, oh, I'm not sure what that means. What is that, right? We're all here to help each other. And I like, as Destiny said, to advocate. That's awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play a little game. This is going to be the easiest participating that you've ever done because all you're going to have to do is type 1 or 2. 1 is going to be yes or agree or true, right? So 1 means yes, 2 means no. And then we're going to talk about kind of what these things mean. I'm going to give you some overview about the class by doing these little questions. So the first one is, I took my STAR 360 tests. You should be typing a 1 in the chat if you did that, and a 2 in the chat if you haven't done it, but you're going to do it today. Oh yeah. Lane and Elijah, I have confidence. Kobe, good. Yeah, if I have to send you another email tomorrow, Kobe, it's going to be a lot of exclamation marks. Somebody once told me STAR tests were going to roll me. Yeah. So I know they're not the funnest thing ever, right? Because they're tests and they're about math and reading, but they're important, right? They show us where you are academically. It helps teachers know what supports you might need. Maybe you don't need any supports. It tells us all that information, right? Also this year, this is probably something that you won't be super excited about. I need the tool in the shed. I love it. We're going to do little parent-teacher conferences with me and your parent, or just you and your parent recorded. Part of that parent-teacher conference, you're actually going to talk about your STAR 360 test to your parent. We're going to do a lot of work around what all the numbers mean, what it says, etc., right? I'm not just going to hand you it and have you talk about it without knowing. But I want you guys to see the value in what the test is saying. So take them seriously, right? Especially if last year you were just like, STAR 360. Well, it's going to come back, right? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about what it means. So, next one. I learn best by myself. Ones are yeses, twos are no. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone go like 1/2. I feel like I'm a 1/2. Actually, I changed my mind. I hate working with other people, usually, unless I just want to talk about my ideas. Then I like working with other people because I like them to go, that's a cool idea. But I'm with you guys. I like working by myself too, right? That's a nice thing about MIWA. Mostly you get to learn by yourself. Yeah, that's a great point, Lane. You enjoy working with people when they actually work. Same, right? The worst is when somebody's supposed to do something and they don't do it, right? And then you have to, either do it for them, or if you're me, spend 15 minutes complaining about them before you start doing it. Right, but that can be really challenging. Unfortunately, that doesn't go away when you become an adult. There's some really lazy adults, and they don't do what they're supposed to do either. So don't be one of those people, right? Be a good group member, or just learn by yourself. All right. SpongeBob memes are an exceptional representation of the internet. Destiny doesn't even have to wait for me to finish. So a lot of us, Caden says no. Okay. A lot of us may remember from last year, we had this very interesting virtual session that just somehow became all about SpongeBob memes. Right, but we can go there, right? Memes are welcome in this class as long as they're school appropriate. Sometimes I don't understand them and you have to explain them to me, but I got the SpongeBob once. So that was kind of a little inside joke from last year. It's very debatable, but the internet at large, SpongeBob memes are one of the most iconic forms of meme. It's true, right? And they never seem to go away. Does anyone even watch SpongeBob anymore? I feel like they don't, right? I don't know. Oh, yes? Oh, okay. Maybe just I don't watch SpongeBob anymore. But I am kind of old, so. Yeah, there's not new episodes. Oh, Jonathan, you're here, and you're only 10 minutes late today. I hope that goes down every single time. I think they just do reruns, right? I don't know. Does anybody even watch TV on a TV anymore? I just only watch things on the internet now, pretty much, right? Like, I can't imagine having cable. Claps or something. Yeah, YouTube, right? Or like illegal streaming. Okay. On loop. Yeah. Well, and that's the nice thing. You can rewatch things. So next topic, by the way, for those of you just joining us, we're doing a little game here where you read the statement, or I'm going to read it, and you're typing a 1 if that's a yes or you agree, and a 2 if that's a no for you, and then we're kind of discussing what's going on there. This is a little precursor to philosophical chairs for those of you who remember that from last year. I spend more than 2 hours a day on social media, including YouTube, in case you didn't think that was social media. A lot of 1s, couple 2s. Wait, 1, changing minds. Easily 1/2. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Elijah. I sometimes do that and sometimes don't. It depends on how much time I have in the day. Yeah, because I also really like working. So I'm either working or on social media. That's pretty much the choices. Yeah, now listening to YouTube, does that count? I would say no. That does not count. If you're just listening to music on YouTube. Now, if you're watching the music videos, I would say that counts. So last year, you guys told me that you want to talk about social media. So guess what? I developed a project for you. We're going to be analyzing basically how much we personally use social media, what the research says, right? Because of course, there's research that's like, oh, social media is terrible. And then there's other research that's like, social media is amazing. It can change your life, blah, blah, blah. You're part of the community. SpongeBob is still running. Wow. Good to know. So we're going to be kind of analyzing the research, our own personal use, what we get out of social media, what we think is beneficial, right? And you guys are going to actually kind of create your own lifestyle rules for yourself. And the goal is not going to be that you never go on social media, right? Unless you think that's what you should do. But really, it's about building awareness. Because you guys have probably seen someone who maybe spends too much time on social media or is using it incorrectly, like trolling with mean comments all day, which I would say a little trolling is fine, but like, you know, excessive trolling is intense. Maybe they're posting 14,000 selfies of them with their baby or something like that, right? So we're going to kind of analyze all that stuff. In fact, in the future, I'm going to ask you guys to bring an example of someone acting like an a-hole on social media that you see. We're going to blur out their names so that we don't publicly shame them. But be on the lookout for that, because I see a lot. All right, let's see. We got some SpongeBob chat. Oh, yeah, the original artist died, but his son is doing it now. SpongeBob Cup. He had cancer, that's how he died. You're going to call it your mom? Hey, yeah, that some parents need to be called out. I'll tell you, the worst people that I see on social media are above the age of 45, I think, at least in my experience. Yeah, exactly. Joelle's right. They're like this angle, then this angle, then this angle, then outfit change. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that stuff. We're also going to talk about shaming people on social media and whether we think that's okay and whether people should be shamed, right? And all that other fun stuff because, you know, everything you post online never goes away, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Next prompt. I think I know what a healthy relationship is. Ooh, this is deep. Yep, we're going to go there. Oh, good. We got straight ones on this one. That's good, guys. Heck no, too. Yeah. So we are going to actually talk about what healthy relationships are, right? Because a lot of times the relationships that you see all the time, you might think they're normal, but they might not actually be healthy, right? And we're going to talk about movies and media and how that impacts your ability to think of what a healthy relationship is. Of course, we're not only going to be talking about like romantic relationships here. We're talking about any relationship, right? Because even friendships can be toxic. Relationships with your parents can be toxic, right? So we're going to be talking about all relationships across the board. Daviding deep into these topics. Yeah. So we're going to go there. We're going to use a couple Netflix original movies to talk about some healthy relationships. I'm going to be taking some clips. So someone earlier said, can we watch movies? Well, we're kind of going to watch movies. We're going to watch clips of movies. Now, would they be movies that you would watch? I don't know. They're movies that I watch, but I have very broad taste. So I actually got the idea from one of my old students who is now a junior, and she sent me this sort of rant about how relationships are portrayed in these multiple movies on Netflix, which I also had seen, and we talked about it a little bit, and then I was like, this is going into AVID. So there you go. A teenager gave me the idea. All right, next one. Miss Jamie will probably talk about mushrooms at least once this year in AVID. If you're new to AVID, you probably are like, but you're seeing ones. I probably already mentioned mushrooms in my other virtual sessions this week, so it's definitely going to happen. I'm also going to a mushroom camp this year, guys, a 3-day camp where you learn about mushrooms, so I will definitely be reporting back. I'm pretty excited. It's like my one super nerdy interest that I just love. Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm also nervous it's just going to be a lot of weirdos and I'm going to feel awkward, but we'll see. If one of the movie clips isn't from Kirby right to the finish, I'll be disappointed. Well, Colin, if you can find me a clip from that you think represents a healthy or unhealthy relationship, I will use it. They're just fungi. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm not telling you yet. I'm not telling you. Yeah, so find me one, right? So again, like even cartoons or video games or any media really can give you concepts about relationships. And a lot of times we don't even think about that stuff. We just see it and we go, yeah, okay. And then if you start thinking about it, you go, oh, wait a second, that doesn't actually look positive, right? Or, ooh, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that. SpongeBob gets married. Oh, man, I'm behind. I don't know. Wait, what? That's insane if that happens. Oh, we can use SpongeBob for relationships too. Perfect. Next prompt. I know what I want to do when I grow up. Yeah, we got a lot of 1/2s, 2s. Jonathan changed his mind. He now knows. Joelle's like 2 all the way. Yeah, right? Now, keep in mind, guys, you may even know right now, oh, I want to do this, but there's no reason that you can't change your mind. So don't be afraid to change your mind, right? Or change your career 17 times. It's fine. But that's a hard question. That's also something we're going to be talking about this year. What are your goals? What do you need to do to get there, right? Are your goals to go to college? Are your goals to do something else? You know, are you not sure what you're going to do? That's fine, right? Is your goal to travel? That's a goal, right? I know somebody actually who just spent, I think it was 4 months traveling all over the world, right? That's what they wanted to do. And they quit their job and did that. And now they're going to go back to doing something else. Ooh, your goal is to win the lottery. Me too. Me too. Next one. I like to listen to music when I do my work. A lot of 1s, couple 1/2s. I'm guessing maybe it depends on the work you're doing or the music, right? I used to do a science experiment actually about this because a lot of students think that music helps them, but then when we actually looked into it, they were spending like 30 minutes picking their music, so it kind of actually prevented them from doing work, but still. Yeah, if you're reading, it might be hard to focus if there's lyrics, right? I know I used to have this teacher who played classical music when we took tests, and it drove me insane because I just wanted silence. But it's something to think about, right? If that's something that motivates you, or maybe that's going to motivate you to get your work done so that you can listen to music. Ooh, if you're doing Spanish work, you can't, but otherwise, always. Interesting. Interesting. Next one. I have at least 2 siblings. So that means if you have 2 siblings or more, you should be typing a 1. And if you have less than 2 siblings, so you have 1 sibling or no siblings, it's a 2. Oh, a lot of 2s. I'm also a 2. I only have 1 sibling. And I have 2 stepbrothers, but I only knew them once I turned 18, so I don't count them. I barely have 1 sibling, okay? 2 and 1. I have 2 half siblings. Does that mean I have 1? Yeah, right? So half siblings can be complex. You can count them as siblings. Sure, why not? I think it kind of depends on your perception, Destiny, if you're close to them or not. Wait, Jonathan, how do you have at least 2 siblings but also not? Not sure how you got a 2 and a 1 from that one, but we'll go with it. Okay, next one. I know what an AMA is. Okay, we got a lot of 1s. We got a 2 with a question mark. Yeah, so this is something that we will have in the class again this year, right? It stands for Ask Me Anything. Thank you, Destiny. And it's not the American Music Awards, sadly. But what's going to happen is we're going to have some special guest speakers come join our virtual session, right? And they're going to be talking about their career and college stuff. AVID Mushroom Association. Yes, that would be good. So we're going to have a few this semester that I already have scheduled with a bunch of different kinds of careers, right? So that you can sort of, again, just hear about different stuff you can do, right? And people's paths. Some people are going to say, I had this job, then I had this job, then I had this job, and I finally found the job I like. Or, you know, people might say, I knew exactly what I wanted to do from when I was 17, and I still do that. So we will get to those. There will be a lot of pre-work with that where you have to read about what the person does and come up with questions for them, right? But you can ask questions like, do you have time to have a kid while you're doing your job? Or how stressful is your job, et cetera, et cetera. Only if we can watch JoJo's and the Kirby anime. I like how we're having an argument about anime from AMA, which does sound very similarly to anime. Good that we're getting representation, or excuse me, what am I thinking? Recommendations. All right. Jokes, okay. Next one. Fall is the best season. Whoa, lots of fall haters. Clearly I wrote this because I think it's the best season. So then what's the best season then if it's not fall? Let me guess summer. Oh, winter. All right, I'm with you. Winter's a good season. Whoa, lots of winter lovers here. Simone's like, no, winter sucks. Yeah, I agree. Fall has the perfect weather. Sweaters. Love wearing sweaters. Snow makes you sad. Winter does have Christmas, and it also apparently has your birthday and snow. Okay. I see. What's not to like? True. Ooh, scented candles and sweaters. Yes. 6 days before Christmas. Yeah, that's hard. Actually, one of my friends, his birthday is on Christmas, and he hates it because it's really hard to do anything for his birthday. Fall has the best fashion, I agree. Best vibes, I agree. Best holiday Halloween, I agree. Yeah, rivers in the summer are nice, Elijah, I agree. But I only want to do that like 3 times. That's it. Yay! Your birthday's in an AVID session. Amazing. Well, we can sing to you. All right, well, Jonathan, you don't have to agree with everything that I say. I like to volunteer or help my community. You could be honest. You could say, nope, I don't care about my community. That's fine. When I was your age, I definitely hated my community and could not wait to move incredibly far away from them. So it's a thing. Kobe. Does that mean, Kobe, that you will do that stuff if you have to? Is that what 3 means? If I'm forced to volunteer, I will? Well, so I'm asking this one because in second semester, so that's a long time from now, right? In like 4 months, we are going to do some kind of community service project as a group, as a class. So we'll talk more about that in the future, right? But kind of start thinking about that. What could we do to help our community? And what is our community? Is it optional? Of course, Jonathan, nothing is ever optional in my class. Why would you think that? So our community could be online, right? It could be like a global community. Our community could be around Miwa, right? Our community could be Gresham, right? So we're going to, first of all, define community and what our community is and what we're going to do. Clean up plastic on the road, so that's a thing, right? That's something we could do. I know one of my old Minty groups, we went to the beach and we cleaned up garbage for about 15 minutes and then we just hung out and played on the beach for the rest of the time, right? So we can make it a cool field trip. Are you getting paid? No. That volunteering is free, right? So we will talk about how this is going to happen, but not everybody is going to have to necessarily volunteer, right? We're going to try to divide it up so that everybody's contributing but doesn't have to do the same thing. Yeah, an excuse to go to the beach, I agree. But it could be anything like that, right? You want to go some other place, we could find a way to pick up trash there because, as you know, there's trash everywhere. Okay? And then I think that was the last one. That was. So then it wouldn't be volunteering. No, it's still volunteering for picking up trash. Oh, they should pay volunteer work. Sorry, I didn't see Jonathan's comment. Yeah, no, they don't pay volunteers. You're volunteering your time. Right? A lot of those organizations, too, that help the community and pick up, yeah, like an internship, yeah, that do these things, a lot of them don't have any money. That's why they don't pay their volunteers. Yeah, internships, a lot of times you don't get paid either. That's hard because then you're working a lot and not getting paid, and that's not fun. So that's the end of this AVID virtual session. hopefully you got to learn a little bit about the class / your community. I will continue publishing stuff. I'm not going to let you guys, work super, super ahead in the class, because I know some of you guys are already turning in notes turn in 3. But I will keep publishing stuff so that you can work a little bit ahead if you'd like. And yeah, it was short. That was, where's my clock? Show up, clock. Well, so much for that. Yeah, that was about 30 minutes, right? So most of our AVID sessions will be somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. Some of them might be longer, especially if we get into a really heated conversation. Then we might have them go a little longer, but it kind of just depends on how everyone's feeling with the session, but they're going to be collaborative, right? So we're all going to be talking in these sessions. And again, if you feel like someone who it's hard for you to participate because you're shy or you don't like participating, push yourself to say one thing, right? Even if it was pushing a 1 or a 2 today, that's participating. All right, does anybody have any questions about AVID, about what's going to happen this year? This is the only class I'm super active in. I know. My Earth Science virtual session is right before this, and let me tell you guys, it was like pulling teeth. I asked them how we could find the mass of a basketball, and no one said anything for like 5 minutes. And I asked like 8 times, and everyone was just like, oh, it was brutal. So I appreciate the collaboration, right? It's supposed to be collaborative, it's supposed to be fun. So have fun with it. All right, otherwise, if you have a question that you think of, feel free to email it to me. For AVID virtual sessions, the exit slip is always the same every single week. Can somebody who was an AVID last year tell us what our exit slip is going to be? If you even remember. Yep, asking how it went, right? There will be 3 questions. What went well? What could we improve? And then the final question is usually related to something, right? Like, what did you learn from this? Or what was the most exciting thing, or whatever. I don't remember if I put a reflection for the first one. I might not have. If you have an appointment, I did. Okay, thank you, Colin. If you have an appointment on the day of the field trip, we'll reschedule the field trip for you, Jonathan. And you and I can go. Yeah, so right here. Oh yeah, by the way, hopefully you voted on what our shark name is. By the way, guys, apparently most of you voted for bull shark. Very good. I know, I started laughing. Mr. Ling is in charge of that. He came up with all the possibilities, and he emailed me to say that we had the best participation so far, but that also we're apparently winning with bull shark. So if you haven't voted, go in there right now. It's a little quiz you can take. Get a different shark name in there if that's not what you want it to be, right? Make sure you did your STAR test, Elijah, Kobe, anyone else who didn't do it yet. And there's a quick write that was due if you haven't done that, Jonathan. And then also there's this virtual session reflection, which again, it's the same every time, minus the 3rd question, which is slightly different. It's an easy way to get points. Oh, and final thing, AVID is a pass-fail class. So what grade do you need to pass the class? In theory, a 60, but I usually round up from 55. So that means if you do half of the work in the class plus a little bit more, you will pass. Yes, Jonathan knows well from last year. So a few other people too. Hey, you got to 62% and you were done with AVID. That's fine, right? There's going to be a ton of assignments, so you still have to do a lot. So it's a pass-fail class, right? So keep that in mind. Keep up with the assignments, but you don't need to be freaking out if you have like an 82. That's going to be the same as if you have a 62. You're just going to get a P for pass. All right, so I can't think of anything else that could be necessary to talk about right now. So we'll stop the share. You're going to go fill out your virtual session reflection. And I will see you guys next week at 2 p.m. on Wednesday.